Hopefully it's, I swear, another
Okay,
update.
it's 6 o'clock, so we'll call the board meeting to
guidelines
order,
and
and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
It'll be I think it'll be a significant thing we'll have to meet on.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. Boy, I loved hearing all the little ones out there. They made it stronger. Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
Here.
Mrs. Scotterman.
Here.
Mr. Mosier. Here. Miss Amy Walker.
Here.
Mr. Wigton.
Here.
I need a motion to adopt the agenda, please.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mosier.
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mrs. Scotterman.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4. I need a motion to approve the previous board meeting minutes. So moved. Second. Mary seconded. Okay. Discussion? Okay, roll call.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mrs. Scotterman.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4. We have presentation of certificates.
All right, good evening, everybody. Ms. Hughes' class, come on up. Okay, we are here to honor Miss Carrie Hughes tonight. She has been teaching for 44 years and 17 in California. She taught anywhere from 2nd grade to 12th grade at different public and private schools. She also coached a variety of sports, including softball and boys and girls volleyball. The next 27 years she spent at Madison South teaching 2nd grade. We have a few of her 2nd graders with us tonight to honor her. We want to thank her for her time and her commitment to Madison South and wish her nothing but the best as she moves into retirement. I know she has mixed feelings, but she's super excited about what the next step in her journey is. So, Carrie, come on up. Thank you for your commitment to Madison schools.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything.
These are mine. Some of them. See you in the morning.
Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we'll recognize any visitors that would like to address anything on the agenda today. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Legislative,
No report.
Athletic Board of Controls,
Have not met.
Student Representative.
Hi, my name is Ava Huff. Life at the high school has been very busy, with many of the year events coming to an end. The Suzuko the Musical was a huge success and showed off tremendous singing and acting talent of our students. Spring sports are underway with the most teams having their first game this week. Student Council held their annual volleyball tournament on March 1st to raise money for Mary Madison Christmas and had 12 teams play for fun that night. Women's choir and chorale competed at regionals and earned its highest score possible of a 1. Madison Student Initiative attended a leadership conference with local schools in Mid-Ohio ESC. The baseball team held their annual spaghetti dinner fundraiser and had a great turnout from the community. Student Council shamrocked lockers with positive quotes to boost the school environment for St. Patrick's Day. Skills USA will be going to state competition on April 9th and 10th. Everyone at the school is looking forward for our upcoming spring break so that we can rest up to finish the school year strong. Ram Pride.
Thank you.
He didn't hear you.
Facilities?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. In student achievement, so at the high school, congratulations to Justin Gibson on winning the Franklin B. Walter $500 scholarship at this year's event. 14 of the area's scholars were honored at a wonderful dinner held at Mid-Ohio Educational Service Center. Also honored was his positive impact person, Mr. Dillon. On Friday, March 8th, the symphonic band participated in the District 10 Ohio Music Education Association large group competition at Lexington High School. The band performed their concert for a panel of judges, then sight read a brand new piece. The band earned a 1 superior and 3 excellence from the judges for an overall rating of excellent. We are so proud of band for their hard work and accomplishments. On Saturday, March 9th, the women's chorus and chorale participated in the District 10 Ohio Music Education Association large group competition at Lexington High School. Each ensemble performed a set of 3 songs for a panel of 3 judges and then were escorted to sight reading where they were judged by a 4th judge to sing a song they had never seen before. Both choirs received a superior rating, while choral swept the floor with a superior rating from all 4 judges. Each ensemble will now compete at the state competition at Massillon-Jackson High School in April. Congratulations to our music department on this outstanding achievement. And as Ava mentioned, the spring musical, The Seussical Junior, was held this past weekend. We would like to congratulate the outstanding cast on their performances. Special thanks goes to Mr. Green for his efforts. Career Tech program, we had 2 students that were top 10 finishers at the BPA Ohio Association State Leadership Conference. That was Alexa Rose for entrepreneurship and Shelby Rush for health administration procedures. BPA National Leadership Qualifiers, Hannah Ball for advanced interview skills, Haley Vernon for advanced spreadsheet applications, and the administrative support team of Natalie Back, Savannah Gray, Michaela Harvey, and Kendall Kirshner. Skills USA State qualifiers were Josh Atwell, CJ Steffi, Landon Smith, Trevin Hatfield, Caden Williams, Lexi Reedy, Olivia Ash, Hannah Clark, Jacqueline Farley, Danielle Golub, Ava Huff, and Jillian Kennard. At the middle school, middle schoolers completed their spring flower sale and sold over 1,000 items, and the money raised will go to PBIS events and grade level field trips. They're gearing up for state tests and have created incentives for students to help them stay focused and try their best. This includes working to show student growth on all assessments. Academic Challenge competed at MOESC last Thursday and had a strong finish, and the end of the grading period was last Friday, and they're looking forward to seeing the strong finishes of students once grade cards are finalized. At Madison South, they recently had their Goodies with Grandparents, where they had a record crowd come enjoy breakfast with their students before school. Leading up to the event, the Student Council organized and ran a bake sale to help raise funds for London and her family. Donations were collected during the Goodies with Grandparents event as well. The whole school was then able to come together to celebrate and watch virtually as London got to ring the bell and celebrate the completion of her chemotherapy. We were happy to report the total amount donated for the family being over $2,000. At Eastview, Mrs. Walker, the music teacher for both Eastview and Mifflin, did a great job with the music program Finding Nemo. A huge thank you to her and her team for all of the time and effort that was put into the program. Eastview just finished reading their school-wide book, The Mouse and the Motorcycle. Literacy Night will be held this Thursday from 5:30 to 7. They also just finished up a great week with Parent and Grandparent Lunch Week. Teachers are working hard to prepare students for upcoming state tests. At Mifflin, second graders took universal gifted screening assessments, while some kindergarten and first grade students also took special gifted assessments for early identification. All students participated in the annual Ashland University Health Fair hosted by college students in health and wellness to promote healthy lifestyles that include eating a balanced diet and regular exercise. Mifflin students joined Eastview for the joint production of Finding Nemo Kids, which opened to rave reviews. Students continue to work hard to prepare for state tests, which begin next month, and students meeting behavior point goals will participate in an egg hunt with prizes this Friday. And board policy.
We did have a meeting Monday, and there'll be some first readings next month, but very minimal changes, nothing big.
Okay. And superintendent update?
Just a few recognitions and announcements, which a couple of these have already been addressed, but I was able to attend the Seussical Junior musical on Sunday, and Mr. Green and his kids just did a great job and put on a great performance. And then I was also at the Franklin B. Walter recognition ceremony, and it was great to see Justin Gibson, one of our students, be recognized as one of 3 scholarship winners out of all the Mid-Ohio schools. So, and then we're now in the 4th grading period, so we're coming down the home stretch. Next week and the following Monday is spring break, and graduation ceremony will take place on Friday, May 24th at 7:30, and there will be many awards programs and other things between now and then. Looking forward to. That's all.
Okay, thank you. And now we have a presentation from Mrs. Cox at Madison South.
Okay, so we are working on our spring concert. We have some second graders here to give you a little taste of our pirate performance that's going to be happening here April 12th-ish. Come over here. Can you take a couple? This way. Liam, can I come over this way so I can see you? Oh, man, yeah, I can't. Go right down here by Levy. Right down here. Go, go, go. That might be way in the way. Right here. Okay. All right, we have a captain here. Raise your hand. Livy Foot is Captain Livy Foot. And then we have First Mate May Reinbold here. So they're going to do one of the scenes first, and then we're going to do one of the songs called Raise the Jolly Roger for our How to Become a Pirate musical.
Aye, Captain. We be set to sail, be looking like buccaneers, spying to find treasure.
Aye, you do. Let's go find us the best treasure we've ever seen, mateys. But you scallywags, how can we do that without raising the Jolly Roger?
Aye, the Jolly Roger. Right away, Captain. We be set to sail, be looking like buccaneers. Fly high and proud on a great grand ship, the South Ram.
Sometimes they're kind of sweet. Raise our flag, pirates are on board. The Jolly Roger flag, pirates are on board. Pirates and the Jolly Roger flying high and proud. Scary, yes, but that's the purpose for pirates and the loud. Pirates flag and the Jolly Roger flying high and proud. Scary, yes, but that's the purpose for pirates and the loud. For pirates and loud. For pirates and we're loud. Raise the Jolly Roger now.
Good job, girl. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you have to beat that, Nikki.
Yeah, that's tough to follow there, but a big thanks to Jen Lawhorn, our music teacher, for coordinating that, and great job, kiddos. Scary pirates there. All right, thanks for having us tonight. Obviously, Kyle and I have a passion for Madison South, Madison School District. We're excited to share that with you tonight. Dare to Lead was kind of our theme for the year with our staff. Big shout out to our staff that just goes above and beyond at all times for that commitment to always do what's best for kids. And that's kind of the theme behind the Dare to Lead. You know, take that chance on a student, make that decision that is best for them, and always step up when needed to support those kiddos. We've seen that through the district and the community as well with all the things that have gone on with London and our school, and they're always there to support. So we wanted to, you know, spread that theme throughout. All right, a few things that we have been working on and implementing on our academic side, some action plans that we've put in place. We went to school-wide small group testing for our 3rd and 4th graders, so everybody in the building is involved in that. All the K teachers, all the way up through the 4th grade teachers, take a group and we test our students that way. And this has really had a huge buy-in within the whole entire school. They kind of understand what those 3rd and 4th grade teachers go through, and so they know at the kindergarten level we're trying to build on that to get them ready for that big time in the school. We had the addition of more foundations, which is one of our curriculums in our younger grades, not only in the title program, but all the way through our K-1-2, and we've seen a huge increase in ELA scores because of that. Aligning our grade level teaching, so kind of teaching to the students in different classrooms, their ability level, and that has been, we've seen a lot of helpful things with that. The state provided high dosage tutoring. We've taken full advantage of that. She runs groups all day long that match up with our title schedule, so any student, you know, isn't left behind. We have a spot for them to go to keep working on things. Implementation of our vocab word of the day. Carly Nelson is one of our speech pathologists, and she does a phenomenal job of getting involved in the whole building. She's put that together and shares resources out with the teachers each week for that.
So I'm going to take a couple minutes here and just talk about a little bit the data that we're seeing as well. We were provided with kind of a overview over the last few years of our 3rd grade ELA AIR test results. And if you can take a look there, going back to fall of 2019, all the way up to this past year, just taking a look at the different breakdowns between the different categories, starting from limited, basic, proficient, accomplished. You know, you can take a look at the numbers there. It kind of breaks it down in this next one here. So in 2019, we only had 19% of our students in the spring were considered proficient or higher. 20 was 15, 21%, 19%. The things that we have been starting to build on and putting in place, the buy-in from the whole school testing, a little bit of everything. We saw just a huge jump and improvement to last year. We jumped up to 39% of our students were proficient or higher, which was a giant positive jump that we saw. You know, going back to addition of title, the foundations program getting up and running throughout the building as well, and the total staff buy-in as well. So we were real happy to see that improvement. We're going to continue to build on that moving into this spring testing season coming up here real soon. Next one we have here is our iReady data for ELA. This was our fall, kind of the beginning of the year when they come back into the school year. They take the iReady diagnostic to kind of gauge and see where they're at coming into the year. You take a look there, the breakdown. This is K through 4, the whole building. The green area are students who at the beginning of the year were on or above grade level. Yellow is 1 grade level behind, and anything in the red was 2 or more. So at the beginning of the year, you can see some of those numbers there. We were at kind of mid-year, right after Christmas break with our most recent diagnostic, seeing really good improvements for that ELA. Jumped up nearly 20% more students now are above or on or above grade level at this time. So again, we're seeing that growth. We're moving more into the green, on or above, and moving more students, basically going right to left, getting them out of the red, moving them into the yellow, keep on pushing them down to getting them on or above grade level. So we are seeing that growth as well for the ELA. And similar for math as well. Coming into the school year for math, we only had 9% based on the beginning of the year diagnostic that were on or above. But that's continuing to grow. Again, moving 10% more of the students are on or above, while 14% are moving out of that red area and continuing to make that growth. So a lot of positives coming from a lot of the hard work of the kids and from the staff and from the curriculum that has been introduced and being used throughout the building.
All right, some of the enrichment things that we have going on, any students that have been identified as gifted or are high achieving students, we've kind of added in a time frame for them to work within the day. We have 10 newly identified gifted students in the K-2 program. Mr. Stump has been, instrumental in getting those kids tested early and getting them in the right pathway to watch that growth. So we're excited about that. 54 students have already made their stretch growth in ELA, 24 in math for the year, which is established for them off the iReady program. So they're continuing to push past their year's worth of growth there. Our PBIS program is, a great thing that we do. We've earned bronze status once again this last school year. Extremely proud and thankful for our team of staff that puts a ton of effort into that. Constantly looking for ways to reinforce those behaviors and celebrate the behaviors of the students. We implemented some new things this year with academic shout-outs, leadership referrals, character kids of the month, and then we have our themed monthly RAM rallies, Ram Shack and Fancy Friday. These are a few pictures from our RAM rallies. You can see they take the glow party pretty serious there. These are a few of the events that we've had around the building, just in a picture form, but over to the left where it's a great year, we always sidewalk chalk and, have some music playing, get them excited to come back into the school year. We had Basketball Jones here that puts on a great assembly for all kids on mindset. So we kicked off the year with that to get them prepared to think positively and, be a good friend to others. This is our pumpkin glow where London got to come and make an appearance there that night. We had a lot of community members there as well. It's always a big event. And then the picture in the corner is our Goodies with Grandparents that we talked about earlier that just got done. That was a great turnout, not turnover.
Then we have, we do our Halloween parade. It's supposed to be a character book themed. Loosely interpretation of book themes. I guess Sonic was in a book at one point. So, a lot of kids enjoy dressing up and coming through. The parents get to come out and while they kind of parade outside too, and they'll kind of line up and watch them come through as well. So I really enjoy doing those kind of fun things. We had the Veterans Day program. One of our teachers is a veteran as well, and she was able, that's not a picture of her, but she was able to speak at the Veterans Day program about her experience as well. So that was real neat, being able to have her in the building, and then the kids finding out that she was a veteran as well was really neat to see. And then our student council adopted a family at Christmas time, and this is a picture of them getting together, and they raised some money and were able to collect gifts for the family, and they got together, wrapped them, and then were able to deliver them after that as well. So just a lot of real positive things going on in the classroom, but also throughout the building and within the community over at South as well.
And just to wrap it up, we just obviously, one of our students, being sick with cancer this year, kind of seen a big rally, in our staff, our students, our families, and also the community. So these are just some of the things that we have done to try to, uplift her family with the bake sale. They came together with the high school and National Honor Society and did the blood drive for the whole community. That was a huge turnout and a huge support that their family felt a huge support from that. Like we said, the donations with the Goodies to Grandparents and raised over $2,000 in that. We've been able to raise several amounts of money over the course of the year. We're just so thankful to the community and everybody for coming together and supporting that Madison family. I know they really feel the love on that. So we mentioned earlier that we got to come together as a school for her bell ringing celebration. For us adults, this was an extremely emotional, time. Rob was there and got to see that, and just the love that the whole school had for her has just kind of summed up our year. It tends to put things in perspective, and we've seen that with the staff and the rallying, and that kind of speaks volumes of Madison South and the Madison community. So we thank everybody that's been involved with that this year, and appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion for approval of donations.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I just like to, first of all, as always, we're thankful to all of our donors, but I did want to point out, number one there, the James and Marion Runyon Estate donated over $125,000 to our baseball program, and he was a baseball coach at Madison, late 60s, early 70s, and so we're just very thankful and appreciative that as he was making his will, that he thought of us and our baseball program. It was very, very kind.
Okay, and roll call?
Mr. Wigton.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4. I need a motion for treasurer's business, item J.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Discussion?
All right, the first one, the resolution accepting the amounts and rates determined by the Budget Commission. I brought you the amounts in January. You had to approve them. I had to send it back to the county auditor. The county auditor has to go through their dog and pony show, and then they send it back to us, and then I give it to you to approve again. So it's just a common thing we do every year to satisfy the Ohio Revised Code and all the things we have to do to set next year's budget, or revenues, basically. Number 2, February financial report. Revenues exceeded expenditures in February, but that's because we got an advance on our real estate. So, if you look at that chart in the lower left, it says monthly breakdown of revenues. About half of the roughly $3.8 million in revenues came from real estate advancement. So, in a typical month when we don't have any real estate coming in, that half would be gone. So that's one reason the revenues exceeded expenditures. The other thing, the local and other government, I know that looks like it's a huge increase, but it's all due to timing. We have this thing called excess cost, where districts can charge each other for excess cost of students with special needs. And for some reason, last year, it did not get processed in a timely manner. That $338,000 for February for this year is more in line with, FY21, FY20, going back. Last year's, it was just off. So that has to do with the timing. We're pretty much on track there, too, as far as revenues so far. We're 2/3 of the way through the fiscal year, so 66%, and right now our expenditures are at 65% of what I forecasted, so we're right on track. Last year at this time there was about 68%. And that is further explained in the red chart on page 6. The other thing, as far as expenditures, over the month, there's it was a 1.5% increase, which is low compared to what it typically is. Really, last month, we ended the month with a positive cash balance, but it was only 5 days of cash on hand, so cash flow still, at this point in time, is pretty tight. I mean, we have to watch our P's and Q's and make sure that we're doing things so we can keep paying the bills, but so far so good. We're on track and doing what we're supposed to be doing. Number 3, approval of appropriations modifications. As the year goes on, you get things like donations, teachers get grants. There's just various things. For example, when we started the year with the funds for like career tech that are set aside, that are like restricted funds, weighted is what they called, we had to go off of the 2023 budget because ODE hadn't given us the letter yet for the 2024. Little things like that. So every once in a while, we have to change modifications, which means we have to tell the county auditor, hey, we're going to increase or decrease our revenues, or we're going to increase or decrease our expenditures in certain funds, and that's all this is. It's just, we're still on track. And number 4 is actually kind of repeated later on section M7, but there is a board policy that says if there's a large requisition, it has to go over 50,000, it has to be board approved. And Ms. Pluck did she did get multiple quotes, and this one was over $10,000 less than the other quote. And as you can see in that section when you vote on it, it is an adult ed expenditure for capitalized purchase, and we did follow all the procedures to do that. Are there any questions for me on anything for 1 through 4? Ready?
Roll call.
Mr. Mosier? 4. Mr. Wigton?
4.
Ms. Amy Walker?
4.
Mrs. Cotterman?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4. Okay, and now we have a presentation on facility improvement and development.
Stuck with me again.
Say, you're just stealing the show tonight.
I just feel lucky to share a stage with you.
You should.
Star of the night.
All right.
So the goal statement is that Madison Local Schools provides a safe, healthy, and accessible learning environment to meet the 21st century educational, extra and co-curricular and community needs. And along with that, one of our goals was facility improvement and design, and the strategy for that was to address ADA compliance in all the buildings and at all the athletic events. To date, as you can see, we've got a lot of stuff done on this. The first 3 items were basically part of the assessment, going through and talking to all the principals, reviewing all the sites, auditing them, contacting vendors, and getting time frames and costs on various projects. And then number 4 there was one of the big things that we achieved last year, actually, and a little bit more this year, and that was adding signage to all the buildings to get us in compliance, augmenting the handicap parking. We actually added handicap parking spaces with a new concrete pad at Eastview, and going through the parking lots and making sure that we had the right amount of handicapped spots for all those, and then getting all those labeled and painted again. And then moving forward, some of the things that we have on the agenda, actually I'm going to kind of go to number 6 first, and that's we're looking at, to make accessibility better, looking at all the sidewalks this year and trying to find the ones that are in the worst shape in asphalt parking lots, and getting that project together for this year. And we're also going to look at future projects, including handicap seating at the football stadium and additional elevator at the high school. Those are the 2 things we want to try to get priced out and make a recommendation to the school board.
Another one of our goals was to address needed improvements with the augmentations of the district's IT infrastructure. This has been a big one. We've gotten a lot accomplished. We evaluated the existing network and then went ahead and upgraded the high school, the middle school with the network switches and connection speeds, all that wireless internet, and also increased cell service in all the buildings, which was a big safety issue that we were trying to work on. In the future, moving into the summertime and next year of ongoing things is focused professional development for the technology department. We all know that that's ever changing, so trying to keep up on those things so they can better serve all the buildings. Continue to improve and maintain systems that will support the growth of technology so that we're not always kind of working from behind, trying to be up and coming with all the new stuff that's always changing and be able to handle that.
The next one that we want to address is the facility safety improvement, and this was something that we put a lot of effort and a lot of our finances behind last year and into this year. And some of the things that we did that were a major improvement were we updated a lot of cameras in the district. We added cameras. Just to give you an idea, 15 years ago when I started here, we had probably between the high school and elementary buildings and stuff, we might have had 40 or 50 cameras in the district. This building has 134. The high schools went from 4 cameras to they have right around 60 now. So we're always looking to upgrade that and to get a better look through the cameras. Beyond that, we went to all the elementary playgrounds now have fencing around them where we can control access. The only playground in the district that does not have fencing is the middle school, and we're talking with the principal now to see if that's something that he feels needs addressed, and if we're going to move forward with that. And a couple of the other big things that we did is we added the night lockdown devices to every classroom in the district, along with the night lock shades, and we did the 3M, not bulletproof, but bullet-resistant film on all the glass building entrances and doors also. Then this year, some of the things that we're going to try to get done is to look at the scope and the possibility of some major resurfacing projects with the asphalt parking lots over the next 5 to 7 years, and make a recommendation to the superintendent and the school board after that.
The next goal is to create a long-term facility plan for the Board of Education's consideration. So some things that we've done with that is reviewed each school building's past and overall history, looked at enrollment trends, and related that to each building and what you'd have to see there. We audited and reviewed all district athletic structures and venues, kind of having a listing of deficiencies and needs, and then also toured, local district field houses. That's something that a lot of our conference, they have those facilities currently. So now working through the summer to formulate a 5-year, 10-year, 15-year facility plan, to present, at some point to the board for that consideration of, what we look ahead to do.
That's all
Any
we have
questions
tonight.
on
Any
any of
questions?
that?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion for item L, matters related to personnel.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Just want to recognize one retirement. Don Maxey will be retiring at the end of the school year, and I reached out to him to invite him to our May meeting, and if any of you know Don, that's not really his style, so he politely declined, but I did just want to take a moment to recognize him. He's a Madison graduate and a long-standing teacher in our district. Started out teaching auto body way back when, and is currently our welding teacher. So we just want to congratulate Don on his retirement and wish him well.
Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Wigton?
4.
Ms. Amy Walker? Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mrs. Cotterman?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4. I need a motion for item M, superintendent's business, including the item 13 on the addendum.
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
Just one item to call your attention to. Number 3, you can see that our Early Childhood Learning Center is increasing tuition, but I did want to let you know, even with those increases, we are very well in line with the standard in the area, probably still cheaper than most in the area. So with the cost of everything going up, understand the need to increase tuition.
Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mrs. Cotterman?
4.
Miss Amy Walker?
4.
Mr. Wigton?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4. Okay, any visitor comments? Okay. Next regular board meeting will be on April 17th at 6 p.m. right here, and I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
And any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Wigton?
4.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Miss Amy Walker?
4.
Mrs. Cotterman?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4. Thank you, everyone.